Things are going
Your
good.
guys end. You guys got some
Yeah, I
DLC
mean,
on the way. You got some stuff for premium coming.
yeah. So, we did the first patch, and now we're working on premium stuff. Hey, look, it's Fred Tuna.
Who know what up, buddy?
Yeah, we want to see your desk in action later. Okay,
The
cool.
hydraulic desk.
We got these new desks. That's pretty much all anyone cares about right now. The big thing for us right now is we're working on obviously the premium stuff, as well as supporting the game. We got the patch out. You guys know we got the first patch out. The game still works, so that's good. That's sort of the big thing for us is stability still, right? We're still, I know, like, hey, the game works, yay, we're good, but we're being extra vigilant about it. We don't want to really play with that just because we've been stable so far. It doesn't, it's no guarantee. So
So
really happy with that.
for people that are under a rock maybe and haven't been paying attention, what are the biggest things that patch brought? I mean, first thing I noticed was pulling out a RPG launcher, shoot one in a helicopter I missed, and I'm like, oops, I don't have another one. So that's what I noticed
Right.
off the bat.
So we tuned. That was just the trunk RPG. So if you do a battle pickup RPG, you'll still have two. That's the secret. Is like the OP RPGs are the battle pickup ones. You still want to get those. It was lots of little tuning stuff. It was a lot of like under the hood bug fixes, things that players maybe weren't necessarily like noticing, but they helped. The game was really stable when we came out, but we did have a few little things that were, adding to some instability that we fixed. Man, I'm trying to think now because like everything I'm thinking about now is for the next one, and I don't want to start listing all that stuff yet.
Well, out of
I guess
from that patch, what's been the biggest response from the community feedback that you guys are hearing from people? What they like, don't like, what maybe didn't make it in the patch, wanting to
I think we have
happen.
a yeah, I think we have a little more to do with the weapon tuning. Obviously, I think that's like just an ongoing thing. Different groups are like, some people are happy with it, some people are not necessarily happy with it. I got a lot of like the meanest thing I got was like, oh wow, you guys spent time tuning the couch. Why would you waste time tuning the couch when you still have a bunch of like weapon tuning to do? The thing about that is like, okay, first off, the couch is a completely separate dude. Our weapons guy is not in charge of the couch.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh, I get what people are saying there, but like, you know, we basically have one guy that really owns the weapons. He works with Thad on the weapons, but he owns the weapons. And so rather than make a bunch of like quick sort of dirty changes that we're not 100% sure about, we are probably being a little more conservative and a little more safe with the tuning changes that we're making. We're not trying to shift it around too much. That philosophy may change going forward. The reaction has been that we need to tune more. People are, everybody's sort of got their list of like, these guns are OP, these guns are underpowered, yada yada yada. We're going to continue to work on that for sure. I think that's probably the biggest negative thing have been giving me after the patches come out is just like, why wasn't there more weapon tuning? I think a lot of that goes into like, okay, so the game comes out, people start playing the game on day one. We get a lot of data about like what weapons are being used, how accurate they are, how many people are getting kills with which weapons on which maps in which modes. And like it takes us a while to dig through that data and sort of figure out what it all means. At the same time, people are tweeting us like, oh, the K10, oh, the K10, oh, the M16. So okay, oh, the rocket launcher and Hotwire, two is too many. Okay, like maybe there's some easy wins that we can tune right away. We'll make a little pass on the K10. Doesn't mean we're done tuning the K10. Just mean okay, like maybe it's a little. I still sort of disagree that it's as OP as the internet says. I'm not saying that it's not a badass gun. I think the first time I came on here before the game came out, I told you guys it was my favorite gun and it was badass. But it has its role, right? And so like if you're running those 24/7 block parties, which people are running that server by the way, 24/7, the block,
Yeah.
64-player
Yeah.
TDM. It's
Well,
crazy. And they're yelling at me. They're like, the block sucks. I'm like, well, you're running it in 64-player TDM. Anyway, if you're running that map, yeah, the K10 might be a little OP in there. It's pretty awesome in there. Although I still think, like, look, if you roll up on somebody with a shotgun and they have the K10, you're winning with that shotgun if you shoot first.
If.
I mean, that's the big thing. It's like the reaction time, right? So
Yeah. Which I don't have.
we'll see. Like you mentioned, you've got a lot of mixed feelings about the K10, M16.
mm,
Anything else at the top of that list?
I think the other big thing, not necessarily tuning related, is like the netcode, right? So like Battlefield 4's got some sweet hot new netcode. It feels really good. Awesome. We actually help them with that. As soon as our CT comes out, we're going to roll that netcode in there, and then we're going to roll it to the main game. This is a huge part of sort of getting the PC community back into the game. When the game came out, the first few days, we had good numbers on PC. Obviously, people are not playing heavily on PC right now. We know that. We're not going to ban PC. We want those PC players. The good news is we are super successful on console right now, like crazy successful, especially on Gen 4. I don't know if you guys saw the EA Finance thing that came out yesterday, but like
yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
That's
exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
Well, I don't possible for a date estimate time for CTE.
I don't have an exact date it's gonna go, but it's really close. Like I expect it like this month, like within a couple weeks.
Is that still no changing on just premium players only?
I don't know like exactly how we're gonna do that. We need to get enough people in there that it's worth it to us. That's the most important thing about CTE. It's not to put it up and say, hey, look, everybody, we put up CTE, be happy. It's to actually get direct feedback from that community. And we plan on playing a lot in the CTE and being in there a lot. If we're not getting enough of the premium only thing, we'll figure out another way to get people in there. I think we want that to be. That needs to. We sort of need to revitalize our game on PC, and that's the first step.
Yeah, and kind of going into that a little bit. I mean, I'm personally shocked. I've looked at the stats or what people are throwing around, and games rocking on the consoles, Xbox One, PS4. But do you all have any single idea or inclination as why it's doing the way it is on PC, or what the underlying problem is?
I think that there's a few things. The first thing, going into this whole deal, we knew that, I see a lot of people, they tweet at me or they post on Reddit or whatever about they want to load up like BFH stats and they want to load up BF4 stats and make that comparison. I'm like, oh man, look at the BF4 numbers and how big the BF4 numbers are. First off, that's awesome. I have a lot of stock in EA. BF4 is an EA game. Sweet. Second off, no one ever said that we were supposed to be a ridiculous juggernaut like BF4. This is our first Battlefield game. This is our first big multiplayer shooter. The company is very happy with where our game is at right now. We knew going into making this game, we do a ton of market research and surveys and all this with the customer before we even make games, like with just the general idea. And we knew going into making this game that we were cutting off a certain percentage of Battlefield players that are like, hey, look, nothing against you guys, but we're into military. We play the military game. For whatever reason, that percentage is just higher on PC. Like the guys that are really into like the war simulation and the military stuff, it's just a higher percentage on PC. What draws those guys to PC as a platform versus console? It's probably that like maybe some of the more hardcore like Arma and stuff like that is also on PC, so that's just their wheelhouse. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a marketing or a research guy. But we did know that, like, hey, like the expectation wasn't to do BF4 numbers. The expectation was to do good numbers, and we had good numbers on PC for a bit there in the start, and it sort of tailed off. And believe me, Thad and I, like, and all of us, we think about it every day. Like the easy answer for us is to abandon that platform. Oh, whatever, we're selling tons on console, we're great, but we're not going to do that. Like the community is on that platform. We really like that platform. It's an important platform for the company. So we just have to figure out how we sort of build back up the interest. I think the first step is CTE. I think we definitely, the PC players are more savvy to like what exact changes have gone into the game. So like they're aware of the netcode, whereas console players may not necessarily be aware that like, oh, there's some netcode change coming. They're just playing the game, They're not necessarily the guys on the internet doing all the research and stuff. So I think the first step is get that netcode in CT, get it working, and get it into the game. I think that right there is going to be a huge help. I think at the very least it'll get some of these guys that were playing early on to come back and give us another shot. And then from there, it's just about how we react to the feedback in CTE, how we do our tuning based on the feedback in CTE. It's just about sort of putting the game in the community's hands and us listening to them about look, it's your game now. We're done. We made the game. It's now the community's game. What do you want out of this game, to make you want to play more? And we'll do it.
So how does marketing work for that? Since the game's already been released, obviously the big marketing push was prior to the game's release. Now that it's out, it's been a little while. Is it up to you as the developers to kind of get out there and reinvigorate the PC community, or is there marketing that's going to kind of help with that also?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think the first thing that I want to do I think the first thing is like that we have to take it upon us, right? We have to say that, like, look, regardless of like what the company as a whole decides to market or push or whatever, this is our game, and we want to do better, and we're here every day working on it. I think once we sort of get the CT out there, and I do believe, yes, they will make a push. They want to, you know, help that platform too. Once we get it out there and it's good, and like people are going, oh wow, this is actually, you know, they got the netcode stuff and it's playing way better, and like, you know, I'm not getting kill trades as often, or I'm not, you know, feeling like I just ran behind Geo and got killed from a thing that really killed me a second ago. That's not happening anymore. I think you'll start getting like word of mouth spreading. You'll start getting like more people playing. I think marketing and PR and everybody will notice that and go, okay, cool. Like they've done something here. I want to work with the Origin team. You know, they do these like, I log into Origin, I'll see like these pop-ups. It's like, hey, this weekend, play Titanfall. So I'd like to, once we sort of have our netcode stuff done, I'd like to work with those guys to get Hardline on a trial, so people can play it and go, oh wow, okay, this is a legit game, right?
So like we've heard from Battlefield 4, the CTE they're gonna try to do that on console as well. Is that something that you guys plan on doing?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna do it on
or is it
PC
just
first.
for now going to PC? Okay.
We're definitely like right away we're gonna do it on PC. I'm not saying we're not gonna do it on console. I think, to be perfectly honest with you, we're gonna wait and let them figure it out, and then once they do the legwork on figuring out how we get it up and running on console, we'll just sort of follow their lead.
Right. Well, you had said like the recent changes in the Battlefield 4 CTE and toward the game, you know, you guys had also helped with that. And if that's already close for, I don't know, and I'm sure there's other people that don't know either. Why is that change that you've seen as a significant change that helps benefits the game not able to be pushed over to Hardline if it's same engine and all that? So how does that work, and why can't we have that?
Yeah, fair question. We have branched away from what they do enough that it's not just as technically easy as just plugging in some modular piece of code and like, hey, it all works. Like our game is at this point very different from Battlefield 4, and so we can't just directly take things from them. The other thing is, it's again like look, everybody got on us real early on as soon as this game was announced. So like, when your game launches, it better work. It better be stable. It better be stable. And so like, that was our big number one thing. Could we just shove that stuff in? Yeah. Would it work? It totally might. But I don't feel comfortable with it. It needs to go through CTE. We need to make sure the game is so stable right now. I just don't want to play with that, you know? And like, it does mean that it takes a little longer. We're being we're trying to be smart and patient about how we do things. And I understand that people are frustrated. At the same time, you know, I sort of get, you know, I'll get messages about the patch. The patch is like specific, like, why did this take so long? And again, this is my first time working on a Battlefield game, but I'm like, what are you talking about? It came out 5 weeks after the game. Like, how fast are we supposed to be patching the game? And maybe people don't understand what a patch is or what goes into that.
Are you guys restricted to like the console, the parity of all the platforms? Like, is it not possible to, like, you know, hot fix, or if you just see an obvious issue in something that you guys are able to fix in house and just patch that through to the PC platform that's not restricted to the certification process, and then maybe over the course of a month, after several hot fixes, several changes, and then form that toward the patch for certification process?
It's a fair question, and I think that you'll see us do that a lot in CTE. The reason that we haven't done it so far is that it's actually not true that there's not a certification process. When we do a game for Xbox, we send it to Microsoft. When we do a game for Sony, for the PlayStation, we send it to Sony. When we do a game for PC, it goes through Origin, and they have their own certification process, and they are a separate sort of like business unit from us. They need to do the same thing.
A 6 weeks thing like console, or is that?
It's just a couple weeks. It's a couple weeks of them sort of hammering on the build and making sure that everything's cool before they prop it up, so that we don't prop up something that's broken, right? You need sort of checks and balances, right? If the team is just able to put stuff up without somebody external looking at it, it just, you know, obviously, like, there's supposed to be people like myself that are making sure that it's good and ready to go, but you just want that sort of extra person to check. So we do go through a certification process for PC. It's just an internal one, but it is within the company. It's an external group. It's the Origin group that looks at
Right.
everything and makes sure we built everything the right way.
That's the first time I've ever heard that. I just thought
Right.
with it, I mean, it makes sense, but from my understanding, it was, like Steam and stuff. Companies are able just to update their stuff. Origin, they have their own, apparently, but I think, and a lot of people believe that even Origin can just simply, like, it's not Origin as much as it is just you guys making the patch and updating it, rather than, like, well, I don't think a lot of people know that there is that restrictive, and I hate to tag it with restrictive, but that other people to check, Origin
Yeah.
with their own side of it.
I mean, the other thing too is like I can't, as the producer on the team, I can never just green light something to ship. We also have an internal QA team, and we can't ship anything until they sign off. Until the QA team goes, hey, yeah, we're actually okay with this game being released. So
Right.
even if it wasn't the guys at Origin or the guys in internal certification looking at it, our own QA team is going to sort of want to spend. They have a certain number of hours that they want to put on the build that we would release before we release it, so they can confirm that, like, hey, we hit every map, every mode. When we go and we start patching stuff and changing things, it has effects that we don't necessarily always predict. And so we need to go and make sure that we just got all
long neck man.
Yeah.
I
Long Neck
remember
Man is
that.
out. Long Neck, has anyone
I know
found
that, but I'm
any
just saying that was
instances of
odd to
that?
see that come back. Yeah.
I know
So,
that
hey-
like somebody hacked the game and got that to happen, but Danny.
No, that was long ago. I
Duh.
just thought that was worm
Danny,
man.
he's everywhere. He's everywhere.
Yeah, he is.
So, hey, I want to go back to the whole. We mentioned 64-man block earlier, which is absolutely insane. And I think one of the biggest issues facing the PC right now is just, you log in, you go to play a game, and all you've got going right now are just these stupid servers that no one wants to play. Is there anything you can do on your side to maybe kind of create more servers that people might want to actually get into? Maybe free hosting or whatever, just more competitive, just the things people are looking for instead of just that complete cluster.
It's interesting, right? Because I think right now on PC, when you go and look on there, they're all like someone else's server. There's no like on console you have like official Visceral servers, and then you also have the rented servers that are running. Like I ran a little 24/7 block party last night, to be honest.
I think everyone has. It's everyone's dirty little secret, right?
Right. I mean, it's good for like if I want to mess around with a new shotgun or something, especially that. So I think maybe having like, so you're basically talking about sort of having some official PC servers that run more of an
and
efficient
just
application.
force them to the top so they populate. And
The truthful answer to that question is I don't know. That is a good idea, and I'm going to go ask when we're done on this interview. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that. It's a good point. I'm playing mostly on console, so
maybe even if it was like just promoted a particular server from Battlefield from Hardline, saying, "Hey, community dev night or whatever, however you guys wanted to mark that or label it, but to where it would be an actual set server and it's populated." Because I mean, you've already said that too, and I really would like to see a lot more people on PC playing it. But whenever I go to play it, it's 24-hour block, or blah, I'm not my thing.
I sold my Xbox. I got no options.
But now, and to be fair though, and like you said, all the people that I know on console that have it are really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I know people that have it on console and PC, and they just play it on console because there's simply just more people. So
I'm playing on console.
I really do hope you guys are able to push out the CTE and make it to where it's not restricted by premium. And that's just me, in my opinion. And I know that you guys have people that you have to answer to and talk to about things and have it green lighted, but that would just not help. I mean, as many people as you can get in there to actually give you some real data, that would be great. I mean, right?
I think we need to figure out, like, I don't actually know how many premium players we have on PC. And I don't know, like, how. So I've never been part of CT. I don't know how it works. Like, I don't know how hard it is.
I think that had hurt Battlefield 4 a lot, too. There was a lot of times I tried to go in there at CT, and there'd be like 4 guys in a server. Like,
so the CTE is something that they run 24/7, but then there's just certain nights when Serlin tweets out like, "Hey, I'm going to be on tonight testing something new."
Right.
Is that how it works? Okay.
Yeah. So then he promotes a particular one that he knows he's gonna be on, so that way it does get populated, because that was the same issue. It was restricted to premium, and there just wasn't enough people, and also people don't want to play and not don't get ranks, and they're not getting experience, blah blah blah, for whatever reason.
Totally
Blah,
fair.
blah,
But
blah.
I think that is something that I will discuss with the people here that make that decision. I don't make that decision, but I think you're right. I think we want those servers to be full. The idea here is to like,
Yeah.
we're doing great. Things are good. Console's doing great, but like, let's revitalize the PC. And so if that's going to help us do that, then I think we should at least consider it. And I will discuss with people here.
Awesome.
Sure. I think it's a good idea.
Is there anything from just the PC side that's at the top of your guys' list for like what is the biggest maybe complaint, or maybe the biggest thing that everybody's happy with?
The biggest complaint is the netcode, is not being competent netcode, followed by weapon tuning stuff, right? And the weapon tuning stuff is like, to me, less. Look, we'll get all of it, but to me, the weapon tuning stuff is less important than the functional stuff like netcode, right? So I think that'll be the first thing, and then the second thing, I don't know, because the
screen
people in the
just
CTE
went out there,
will tell
Paul.
us.
There it is. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, excuse me.
The people in CTE will tell us what the next most important things are. We have a list of many things that have been reported, through our QA group or through, public people playing, and, we'll address those things, but we'll prioritize based on the kind of feedback that we're getting in the CTE. It's one thing for me to read Twitter or to read Reddit. It's another thing for me to get on for a couple hours and just play with people and be on TeamSpeak and just hear them.
Yeah.
This is the best thing about it. So I'm playing mostly on Xbox, and I play with a lot of public people, and I just go in the public lobbies and I just sort of talk with random people, and I'll party up with random people because I just want to hear their thoughts on the game. And I think we just need to do the same thing in the CTE. I just get a lot more value out of that direct feedback than I do out of reading something on Reddit or Twitter, because sometimes people post things that are a little bit extreme because they want a reaction, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, people still tweet at me that the game is broken. I'm like, what is it? Define broken. Like, what does that mean? Because that makes me freak out. Like, the servers are down, or like, I can't get in a game, or like, and then they're like, well, the M16, OP. I'm like, that's not broken. Like,
there's so much terminology that's just repeated from somebody else saying something about something entirely different. It's like like netcode for one. We all. Well, I wish we all, but most of us know, I think, that netcode isn't even a real thing.
I know, and now I even use it.
It's just
so.
If you're playing on a German server in the
so
U.S. with
it's a
300
simple
ping,
word.
you're probably going to get shot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't really want to. All right, in the chat, Iconic Chronic HD there. He has said and asked repeatedly about that map drawing he has sent you. What about that picture of the map I made for you on Twitter that you said was money?
This is it right here.
Like nighttime.
The Iconic Chronic map design.
Multiplayer maps
first of all,
coming like dark.
It's got a description you probably can't read.
Before.
Here's the description. Map idea. Nighttime. Dark.
There you go, Iconic.
Muddy.
Intense. In the chat.
What you think? It's got this map.
I think Iconic Chronic was on Chronic when he made that map design.
Cabin.
I just want to build the scale. Just build the scale and I'll be happy.
I love it.
We've got a trailer here. Down here there's wood, and you can see it's wood.
Wood.
Yeah, make sure that's wood. Got, like, this creek. You guys are laughing about this, but we're gonna make this map.
It's Everglades. It's already been made.
Community map 2. Your votes don't even matter. It's already getting done.
Everglades Part 2.
There.
We've been saying a lot about Battlefield 4. So my question is, are you in communication with DICE Stockholm? I mean, they got a lot going on right now, and you all have just kind of released, and you're trying to find your stride. Are you all working together? Or are they kind of timing things to help you all out?
Some. We definitely communicate with them and try to work with them. At the same time, we're trying to, like you kind of said, we're trying to find our stride. And so, like, the easy thing for us would be, okay, I'll give you a great example. I forgot the other thing people are crazy angry about, and rightfully so. So our TDM spawns kind of suck. I don't know if you heard about that. So the easiest thing for us to do would be to call the guys and be like, hey, just get us. There's a system that TDM runs through that sort of governs how people are going to spawn, and where they're going to spawn based on where all the other players are in the match. And we're trying, like, we thought we had a handle on that system before we shipped. We shipped. We got some complaints about it. We looked at it and we're like, oh, right. We sort of made some little tweaks for the patch thinking, and we're getting now the feedback is like, hey, it's a little better, but it's still a problem or whatever. So it's like we're continuing to sort of push on that. The easiest thing for us to do would be to call Dice Stockholm and be like, who's your best guy? Send him here for 3 weeks and just sit him down in all our maps and fix that. That doesn't really help us like going forward. And I know that like as a fan of the game, that's probably like the quickest means to the end there. I want to know how to do all that stuff here, because if they're working on some game where they're super busy and they don't have the time to help us out, going forward in the future, it just puts us. Look, I'm not trying to pull people off of Star Wars to help us out. You know what I mean? Like there's other stuff going on. So we definitely do communicate with them all the time, and they have helped us with a bunch of stuff. We are trying. We're trying to figure some stuff out on our own, though. I mean, our game is also just a little bit different, right? Like the feel of the way our players move and our time to kill and everything, sort of, and the way we built the game is different. We branched a bit, so.
Speaking of time to kill, is that where you want it to be right now, or are there still tweaks coming for that? Because I know that's a huge complaint right now. Personally, I go with it, but
yeah. So I like it. I play on console and I really like it. I think that console, like the way that you shoot and that you aim, it's not as quick and it's harder to control recoil. On the mouse, like I can just really aim fast.
Thus, you have time to react and survive a little longer.
So
just a little.
We may
exactly.
We may tune it. You Iconic Chronic, is this recorded for later? I want to show my wife. That's so hard.
Hey, honey, look what happened on the podcast. Go ahead.
Yeah, hold on. I got one more thing to say to him. Iconic Chronic, this printout that I have, I hang this up at my desk. It's hanging up every day. Just so you
Inspiration.
know.
You need to get one of those for shit. What's his name? Damn, I just thought of his name. Map Man there.
Is he?
No, the other one. What's his? Damn it, not Tuna. That's the engineer.
Unitool.
Yeah.
Unitool. God, I couldn't think of his name for nothing. You need to hang that. You need to get it
actually
framed and hanged up in front of Unitool's
so I'm
desk.
just going to move this camera. This might be kind of weird. I sit here. He sits right there, and it hangs between us. That's Jay-Z and Thad right there.
Is there like a community refrigerator that you can put that on too? It looks like
we do have a community refrigerator. We call it the Vault of Game.
The vault.
And it's stocked.
It needs to go up there too.
Somebody left some like yogurt in there for months. So the Vault of Games is down for maintenance right now. We opened it up. And
well, at least nobody's stealing it. Stealing somebody else's food from the community fridge.
That's what interns are for, right? Clean that out.
We don't have interns though.
Really?
I've never even had an intern. Yeah, I need one. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Somebody would want to come intern here, make video games, clean out the Vault of Games.
Danny on PC. I'm sure he'd come to America.
I'm working on some things for Danny on PC.
Clean this refrigerator out.
Maybe Whitey. He's a local.
He is a local. He's actually been awesome. He's been helping us out with the streams.
You got some streams and stuff, yeah?
We didn't, if you remember the first ones we were doing were like on the Xbox Connect, not so pro. He's now got the green screen set up for us. He's got these like cool graphics set up for us. I mean, you have the same thing on yours. Like there's cool graphics on here. He's got all that action now. So he's been awesome. And yeah, he lives right down in San Jose, which is like 25, 30 minutes from us.
Throw that man a paycheck. I bet he'll show up every day.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Sure. Hey, dude, get at this Vault of Games. I if he worked here, I would have better work for him to do than clean out refrigerators.
Well, I didn't mean for him to clean out the refrigerators, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The guy's local.
Sure. Yes.
All right, so I got a question here. Let's to kind of lighten things up a little bit. So you jump in your
very serious.
You jump in your little Pinto or whatever you got. What's the first Hotwire song that comes on? What do you got playing in your Hotwire?
I like the Clash song that's on there. Here's a little juicy info. I really like some of the new tracks that are coming out.
Cool, that was a question too. Good. Are we getting more music?
Yeah. We are. I can't tell you how many or what they are, but there's some really good ones on there that I really like.
Can we get some like 9 Inch Nails or something? Bow down before the one. Stuff like that.
Oh, that's interesting. That is not one of them currently. 9 Inch Nails.
They got some good stuff. I mean,
Well,
I'm talking about
Okay,
the 90s
tell us
stuff.
what else you got coming for us. What's DLC nuggets you got hidden away? What info can you tell us, sir?
Okay, so the
Yeah.
juiciest nugget I'm going to give you right now. This is the juiciest nugget. They never actually said I could say this. I actually asked for permission, and they kind of like, oh, maybe, and they never got back to me. So I'm just going to say it.
Lurkers in the
So-
podcast, get ready.
Don't get
We're
fired.
doing right. Hang on. Let's see. Let me look in here. Who's in here?
He's
We're good.
checking his contract.
exactly.
Is anybody around who's listening? Can I get away with
No.
this?
People still come. I'm just at my desk. People. Fred, are you doing the game right now?
Nervous,
Fred,
bro?
are you doing the game right now? Hang on, no, but Fred has like a thing. You're not ready for prime time? Okay.
There's Brian. I see Brian back there behind you, too.
The first pack, we're going to have 4 maps. Here's the secret. 2 of those maps are going to be night maps. Not like redos of the main game, but like 2 brand new night maps.
Cool. 4 maps, 2 night maps.
Yep.
Can you give us any kind of environment? Urban? Is it maybe the woods map there you got from Mr. Chronic there?
Dude, okay. This is not something you can just throw together. This is
Takes
clearly
time.
going to take a lot of time to make. You have to.
Gotcha.
we
Fair
have to
enough.
get
Fair
our-
enough.
I have to get top men on this. I can't just have anybody work on this here. I need the best of the best. This is more of a like, think pack 2 or pack 3 for that guy.
Gotcha. So can you give us any kind of what
else
kind
do
of
I have?
environment it'll be for the first pack? Indoors, outdoors, bigger maps,
70s,
smaller
80s.
maps.
Yeah, time frame 1970s.
Time frame is current. Time frame.
Ah,
Okay.
Hold your horses, because we have
No
some
70 retro.
map we wanted to do. There will be some California locations and some Florida locations.
Okay. There'll be
there
a
will
lot of
definitely be urban.
destruction. There'll be a lot of destruction.
There is
Come
destruction.
on, it's Battlefield. No, but there'll be a lot.
I know, but we need to define what a lot is, because I feel like
Where you
people
bring
say
them
the main
mother
had no
down.
destruction. Right, you want to drop like whole ridiculous things.
It doesn't have to be ridiculous, but you know, if there's a wall there, it's made of wood, and I fire a grenade launcher at it, I want it to blow up.
so
There are some-
Florida, we're talking Orlando, right? Since Disney, Star Wars, Battlefront, yeah.
I don't
Amusement
think
park.
here. I'm gonna ruin that for you right now. I don't think you're gonna see any Star Wars crossover coming in.
I'm not saying
Quit changing
Star
the
Wars.
subject, Zook.
I'm just saying. I'm saying Disney World. I'm saying like an amusement park type deal.
That's not a bad idea.
How does the
Yeah.
destruction compare to the current maps?
I think there's a
Is
little
it
bit
like Dust Bowl, or because there's a lot of like non-destructive areas in that? You know, it's kind of solid.
I think it's a little bit more, and I think we've done a better job of visually messaging what's destructible and what's not. The frustrating
Cool.
thing for Dust Bowl is not necessarily always that it's not destructible. It's that I just destroyed that thing that's made out of that material over there, but the same thing over here, which appears to be made out of the same thing, cannot be destroyed. It's an
Why can't I run my car through this chain link fence?
right?
Right.
Like an inconsistency we have. So, and part of that is just like us learning how to make this game as we went. So we're definitely better at that, and I think we're gonna get
That sounds
we're
good.
gonna keep getting better at that as we go through each of these expansion packs.
Any new vehicles we can expect?
Yes, but I'm not gonna tell you what.
Oh,
One of them
Planes?
is so cool.
Planes?
Though. It's
So cool.
I wish I could talk about it.
Planes?
Segway, yes.
No
Planes?
planes.
Question mark?
No planes.
No planes.
I just
You heard it here
don't
first.
see like how to work it into the fiction of what we're doing. Like,
It had to be like a
especially
Cessna, and that's boring. So no one wants to fly in a Cessna.
I'm not necessarily anti-planes, but when I play BF4, it feels like they're just fighting each other. Like they're just up there like playing a whole different game, which
Just a question we're asked a lot. Yes.
yeah, no, totally, and I get it, I just want to be. I hate just going no and not giving context to why we're thinking what we're thinking, right? But like our game is, you know, we do have some of the bigger maps, but we don't have any of the huge, ridiculously large maps that BF4 has. We are more of a close quarters, tight quarters game, and that was by design, right? So like, you know, I think that we still want the game to feel the same. We're not going to completely change how the game feels. It's just going to be more and better.
Can you compare those map sizes to any maps now? Are they Dust Bowl large or are they Grow House medium?
We
I
have
think
like
It's kind of
multi-layer,
small.
open.
a
Just
couple
spill the beans.
smaller,
Tell us. No.
couple of the smaller and a couple of the bigger, and then I think as the packs go on, we're going to do more and more of the bigger. They take a little longer to do, obviously, because they're bigger. So I think, the first pack, we don't have a ton of lead time. It needs to be out this summer. We want to get it out as soon as possible. So not that they're super small. There's no the block. The block is our smallest map. We're never going to do a map that small again. Maybe one of them is as big as Grow House. Others are bigger than that map, but not necessarily like Everglades.
2 were night and 2 were day, and Florida and California areas.
And there are some new vehicles.
Some new
Nice.
vehicles.
Yeah,
What about
already.
weapons? New weapons?
Homeland
New
Security
gadgets?
drones.
Can you give us any numbers? Is it like
Um,
one gun per class, 2 gadgets kind of thing, or 10 guns, no gadgets, 5 gadgets, 2 guns? Just shooting in the dark there, but
I don't want to get in trouble. I'm not gonna tell you numbers.
come on.
We got some cool ones, and I think we're trying to do a new gun for. So we're doing like when the premium pack comes out, everybody has to do a download anyway for like compatibility. So we're trying to do a new gun for everybody as well, not just premium players.
Nice.
So that non-premium players, but you guys are premium. It doesn't matter for you. You have those guns anyway. But we are not done. I guess what I'm saying is the future is not just about premium. We're obviously doing a ton of premium stuff. We're also going to support the players that just bought the game that aren't necessarily premium.
Have you guys had any talks or any consideration of possibly allowing, like, say I have premium, but my friend doesn't, letting someone play with a friend who has premium maybe to check out and try the map before they buy the DLC individually or decide to buy premium?
Yeah,
Is there a
we've talked about that. That's
10
actually an
hours
idea
play
Thad
time
had.
or something? Yeah.
Thad had that idea. He was pushing it pretty hard. I really like it. We're just trying to figure out technically how to make it happen. I think there's like certain permissions that you grant people there that we just need to figure out how to do it. But yes, we would like to do something like that. I'm not promising it or anything, but we are looking.
Maybe let somebody. I don't know how the logistics of how you guys would work it out or how you'd want to go about it, but you could either where they get to play with a friend who's already on it, or which I think people would probably like better, but at the same time they might want to try it out. No one else is playing at the time, so maybe it might be better to give X amount of hours. Like new DLC's out, everybody gets 15 hours. After that, if you don't want to, or 10 hours, I'm just shooting a number out, but
That's actually a cool idea.
10
I
hours,
like
15
that.
hours, and after that,
Yeah.
then that's cut out. And then if you want to buy it now, at least you have an idea of buying it instead of, oh, I don't like these maps or whatever. It doesn't have the gun I wanted, or for whatever thousands of
Yeah.
reasons people will complain.
Yeah, I think that's
Getting
interesting.
free time, but it'd be nice to let everybody get some kind of time on them.
Yeah, I have like sort of two trains of thought there. One, the first one that would be like anti that I'm not necessarily saying this is how I feel about it or not. It's just a thought that I had because we've talked about that too. Is that does that devalue the guys that did buy premium? Like, do they feel like, hey, I paid money and now you're letting these other people play this thing that I gave you like real money for, and these guys didn't give you money for this? I don't know, and maybe you guys are saying yeah, you would want that. So maybe that is okay. I don't know, right? We're trying to figure that out. But what I don't want to do is make people that bought premium feel ripped off. Like, hey, I gave you all this money. I'm the one out here supporting your game and supporting your guys' studio, which is amazing. The fact that people buy premium before we've given them anything is amazing. It's showing a lot of trust in the dev team to say, hey, I'm giving you my hard-earned money. You haven't even made the thing I'm paying you for yet. I'm just giving you this money in advance. So that would be my one concern about how we sort of let non-premium players try premium content is that
Just
the
let them
premium
try.
members
Because I think, sorry to cut you off, but essentially I think the most important thing about DLC really is the maps.
well, yeah, and you want people playing.
And anytime that you have premium and then you have that week, 2 weeks, whatever ahead of time, then it comes out. They have no idea. Maybe they don't want to buy it. They've not played in a little while. They've taken a break. They don't want to run out and get it. And then they don't even have access to it. And the premium guys play. And then it separates all these servers. Then you have vanilla servers and you have premium servers. And then, you can't even join with your friend who might only have one particular new map in this rotation, but
Right.
now that it has that, now you're blocked
Yeah.
out from playing the 9 other maps that are vanilla with your, it's
Sure.
those restrictive
And
things there.
the
I'm sure
shorter,
you
I
guys
guess
have
the quick
cumulative
short answer to
stuff
your question is we're working on that, and we're working with all the sort of internal partners we have here at EA, the guys that run the business side, the guys that, sales and marketing and all that, to see what we can do there. But we want to do something like that to get more people playing
That would
that
be great.
content. Because
Right.
the premium players, like if you're premium and you buy this map, congratulations. But if there's no one to play the map with you, then it's worthless to you. So like we need full servers of this content.
And it's happened in, the past Battlefields or whatever. Everyone plays that DLC 2 to 3 weeks, and then you just go back to playing vanilla because there you are stuck without being able to play with your friends, or they don't have it yet,
Yeah.
or there's just not enough people on to have a full game. So you just go back to vanilla because everyone who bought the game
Yeah,
has those
no,
maps.
I totally get it. And so we have a bunch of stuff that we're thinking about around that problem you're talking about, which is each time one of these packs drops, it separates the player base. They jump on it, but then they have to jump back because most of the players are still on vanilla. But there's a bunch of sort of angles of that conversation that we're looking at right now. There's a whole lot of ways we can deal with that, and we got to figure out how. We
Price
got to figure it out
tiers.
soon. Yeah.
Sounds good. So talked about the DLC.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zoop.
What are you playing right now outside Hardline? So nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, you
I'm
gotta.
all I'm doing is playing Hardline every night.
That's
I
it.
need no. I gotta especially right now. I need to know. I need to be on that game every night. Like we're working on that game every day. It's a great time for me right now because I generally I play the hits. I play all the big blockbuster games that come out, and this is probably the most time I've ever put into any game. I'm at like
Really.
70 hours on Hardline or whatever, and because like normally I play a game and well, that's not true. I put in some crazy hours on like Dragon Age and some of the bigger RPGs, but usually I jump around a lot. I play a game, I beat it, and I move on to the next game. I play that game and I beat it because there's so many games. I have a huge backlog of games I want to play. Our game came out at a really good time. There's not a ton of stuff. State of Decay is staring at me right now, and I do want to play that game. I really want to play State of Decay. I'm not going to until the first expansion pack for Hardline comes out, probably. The other thing is we're doing that legendary thing, and like I got to get to level 150 before that comes out. And this is a grind. Like
Well,
I'm at like level 81 right now.
Well, tell us
I'm at like
anything you can
60.
tell us about that. Any more details about the legendary? How that will work? Will you get to keep your weapons
Yeah.
after you do it, or
We
you're
don't
just
know.
starting the
We're
rank
trying to
system
answer those
over? You getting
questions right now.
bonus?
We're trying to figure that out right now. I'll speak on that in sort of a more general terms as far as how the DLC comes out. So last time, I forget who you guys were talking to. I like to come and peek in on all these that you guys do. I actually enjoy the podcast regardless of whether someone from our team's on it or not. So I think maybe it was the Battlefield Friends episode where this conversation came. Maybe it was the Thad episode before that. I'm not sure. But the conversation in the chat was essentially about like, hey, they announce premium and they announce these features and then they don't tell us any details. Like that's super weak. Like why we want details on Gunbench. We want details on Legend or whatever. So here's why. I just want to be upfront about why we don't talk about details yet because we're still making it. It's not like we made all this stuff when we made the main game and then we took it out. We made the main game, we shipped the main game, and then the same team that worked on the main game are the team working on premium. We don't have like a different team. That's Tuna back there. See Tuna?
Yeah.
Tuna's right there. Boop, boop, boop. Tuna's he's from the main game and we didn't it's not like we had some separate team on the side out ahead of this stuff. So we have like basic designs for the stuff we know we want to build it. We go out and we announce premium and we say, hey, this is the stuff we're going to do. And people go, hey, I want details on this. If we start giving details, every detail that we go out and we announce, we have to deliver. We can't because we're selling it. We're going out and we're selling you this product that doesn't exist yet. We're saying, hey, buy premium because we're going to give you this, this, and this. So we can't announce details on these features until we know that we can deliver on it. Otherwise, we're basically in breach of contract. We're telling you, hey, I'm going to give you a gun bench that does this, 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 and this. And then what if we can't figure out how to do this one part, right? We're still going to have this cool gun bench that's going to do this, this, and this, but it won't have this one little thing, right? And we just we thought that would be a good idea. When we really dove into technically what that idea meant, we couldn't figure it out. So we can't, until we get the feature really close, we can't promise what's going to be in the feature, because that's what we're doing. We're promising it. It's not like the game is, not released yet. No one's pre-ordered it yet. People are already paying for this content. So we cannot go out and like give them an exact breakdown when we don't know yet, because we're still building it right now. The game came out, we all took a couple weeks off, and then we rolled up our sleeves and started building all the stuff that we'd planned out.
Any potential stuff that you guys haven't said about, like premium, like the gun bench and
I know.
Oh no, there's
the
definitely
maps and
features.
gun.
There's stuff that's coming that's unannounced, because we know we want to do it, but we can't announce it because, we might have 10 things, we might get 6 of them, and we can't go announce them yet because we don't know what they are yet, because we're still working on it. I mean, we're starting to get a better idea now because we're a couple months in. Now we're standing stuff up. Now stuff is working. Now I'm starting to see like, the actual content in our, we play on like a sort of separate environment than the public. So in our environment, we're already testing this stuff out and playing with this stuff. But, we just have to be careful. And some of this just isn't, this isn't our job. We're the dev team. We just make the thing. And there's someone else at the company that's involved in like selling it and telling people how it works and all that stuff and like what the details are. I'm not an expert in marketing or sales or any of that, like I'm just a dude that makes games. I think it's time to drop this desk. Sit down. I'm gonna sit down now.
Right now, I'm gonna have a seat.
Sit down now. My hydraulic desk. Oh, there we go.
Right.
Red's desk too.
Tuna had a copy there.
Yeah.
It sounds like the cool thing about the gun bench and everything, though, is you're actively listening to like
That's
us
the thing.
and what we want.
Right.
I see you, Des. You're constantly on there saying, "Well, I don't know. How would you want it to be?" So, and I know some people brush it off like, "Oh, they're just saying that," but you all are actually listening to us, which is cool. I really haven't seen this in any game before at the level you all are doing it. So,
we are for sure really listening. I think the one sort of thing that's disappointing is how like fast we can react to the feedback. It just takes time. Everything takes time, and I think that people want everything like right now. And for us, like I kind of talked about earlier, like our number one mantra is still stability. Like we're not going to play around with that. The game has been super stable, and we want it to remain super stable for its entire lifetime. I don't want any one bad week or one bad day or one bad whatever. And so, like, could we go faster and introduce the possibility of instability? Yes, we could. We could rush some things. I just don't really see why we would do that. We have a good game right now. We have a great player base on console right now. We need to build the player base up on PC a little bit, and that's not going to happen tomorrow. That's going to take time,
Yeah.
Maybe some dev days or something would help. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
I think once the CT comes up, I think people are going to be surprised at how often we're in there, because we're going to be in there all the time. I think that's one of the coolest things that Tigger and his group do, is like when they do they get on there and they actually are in the game playing with people. I would expect once our CT's up, you guys are going to see a ton of, and it's not just going to be 1 or 2 guys. It's going to be a lot of the team in there, because we all like playing the game. We want to see, and we like playing with the public. It's fun for us when they're not being mean.
So what's your favorite game mode right now after? Well,
Hardline.
2 or 3 months.
Stick to that.
Are you really going to stick with Hotwire?
Hold on a second.
Number 2 wheelman.
Hold on a second. Let me pull down this prestigious award that I have pinned to my wall right here.
Yeah, there you go.
You made that yourself, right?
I did not make this myself.
All right.
I was granted this award.
You granted.
Was there a big ceremony or anything?
I have another one. Hang on, it's on the outside of my keyboard. Let me grab it and see what we
He's got his little "I love me" wall.
Listen, Zoop. I haven't made a single one of these.
I love me wall. Is that your I love me wall? That's great.
That were granted to me. It's from Invader right here. This was to make it official. And
oh wow!
It has the
wow.
IV things, and it says official. So I don't really know what argument. I mean, I have like a ribbon, and then I have like an official certification. What more do people want?
All right, after the podcast, jump on computer. We'll settle this. Get in there.
I mean, I'm sorry, but really, I mean, where are you right now? You're at home. I'm assuming you're at your desk. You're looking at a computer right now. Do you have an official certificate or some kind of award available to you?
Give me about 5 seconds. I'll pull up Photoshop and get something.
I mean, but this is like printed out on like a high quality stock paper. It says official.
Yet
it's
it's
got
not
the
even.
Roman
It's
look
not
to
the
it.
frame.
Yeah,
It's not
I
the
don't,
frame.
but it's like framed with this white. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like it
All right.
didn't.
Well, what's your second favorite game
This is
mode
a
then?
Blood Money.
tough.
Blood Money is my
Blood
second
Money.
favorite game mode. I love Blood Money, and I'm probably, to be honest with you, I'm playing more Blood Money right now than I am Hotwire because people look at my stats on the battle log and they make fun of me for how many points I've got playing Hotwire. I don't boost. I don't boost in the Hotwires. I play Hotwire legit. But some people like to accuse everyone that plays Hotwire of boosting. This is not true, at least in my case. I don't boost. I hunt boosters. I love getting in no-kill servers and shooting RPGs till they kick me out. It's probably my favorite thing to do.
They can actually kick you out. Then do you just
Yeah,
like
because
go in there?
I talk with people all the time when I play with people online. They ask the same question, like, "What do you mean? Like, can't you just ban people? Can't you just boot people? Can't you just make
Yeah.
room in the server? Can't you just switch that guy into my squad or whatever?" No, I don't. Look at this engineer over here. See this engineer over here? He doesn't give me no power. He's over here writing codes, working on the codes. Yep, see that? But he doesn't give me any.
Yeah.
He doesn't give me. I don't have these
Working
powers.
hard,
I wish
huh?
I had these powers, man. You know what I have? I have some dev camo. I have a sweet patch. That's what I have to represent with. And I have, in case you forgot, I have this certification and this award.
Don't
That
mean
one.
shit unless it's in a frame, man.
Okay, now that's a fair point. I'm gonna frame that
Yeah,
thing.
that is a fair
Yeah.
point.
That was a
And
fair
then I'm
point.
gonna make
Very
fun of
fair.
you for actually framing that shit. No.
Yeah.
Like he went and got it framed.
I just randomly saw Invader asked when we're getting Ben's clutch patch. That will also be when we get the DRMB patch, whenever the first DLC comes out.
Sweet.
So
And it's
can
so
you
clutch.
tell us what we have to do to get this DRMB patch? What the parameters are for it?
It might have something to do with revives.
Well, I figured so, but that would go against the whole don't revive. I mean,
I know. So we thought about making it revive declines, and you decline a certain number of revives.
I like that. I like
So
that.
Ben,
I never get it. I habitually just hit jump and get up. If I'm revived, I'm on my feet. Damn it.
I don't like how people like to revive me when there's a firefight going on. They don't even want to give me full health. What does
Yeah,
that mean?
that quick 20.
Don't
Yeah,
revive
what
me,
does that
bro.
mean?
Why do they
Don't
take the
revive me,
risk
bro.
to do it just for 20 points? Yeah.
It's for
Don't
points.
revive me.
Dude,
Um,
I'll be honest though. I love the criminal, the whole, the adrenaline or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. The what do we call that? Oh my god, I should know this.
Atropine? No, not atropine. God serum.
Yeah, whatever. It's a
Still
shot.
think
whatever
needs to
it
be,
is.
Shot.
like,
It's the
Yeah,
thing
there
from
needs
Pulp
to be
Fiction.
some kind of indicator
exactly.
to show you that thing is fully charged, though. Because
Goes in
I
your
think a
thigh
lot of people
instead of
think
your
they can
heart.
only do that with the defibrillators. Because
No, it has
you
like an extra
got,
little animation. He pulls it up extra when you're charging it.
does he?
If that's not true,
I
it will be true when we patch. I think because I see that when I play.
have-
So we
Okay.
either already did that. That's the other thing. It's hard for me to keep track of what we've done here versus what we've released because
But you
we're playing a
said
different game right now.
You said you've been playing a lot of console lately. So with
Xbox
all
One.
that play behind you, we need to get you on like tomorrow, today, next day, and
Right now.
serious hours on PC, man.
We can run some PC. I have it's 5 p.m.
Do a
here. And I have a
TS.
guest coming at 5:30 for happy hour tonight. We have happy hour here. I'm down to sign up to run this. Tomorrow is Friday. Let's look at my Friday calendar, and we'll do a DRMB play session. Let's just rock it out at 1:30 to 2:30. So like, what time is good for you guys?
I work Fridays, but you can do it
What
whenever.
do you mean you work
Sam.
Fridays? What time are you
I
off?
work every Friday. I've worked every Friday for like 3
What if
years.
we play like this time right now? What if we play? This is 5 p.m. my time. What if we played at 5
Thursday.
p.m. my time? Today's Thursday. I mean, I can definitely play next week if you want. But I'm trying to get
the
tomorrow.
reason I'm saying that, I'm playing a lot of console, and I just want for you to get on PC to see if there is any kind of significant difference.
Sure.
'Cause
There
I
is.
mean, I know that might
I've played a
sound
little
silly, but I know
Right.
there's a lot of people on console that they're fine with it in most regards. They I have fun, and that shows you from the player base going. There's something going on PC with that damage, man. Now this is just my opinion, and I'm not speaking for anyone else. It's in my opinion, though. I just feel like we're not being relayed the damage we're taking in time, and that's why our deaths feel so instant.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
shoot
So,
a guy and it seems like you're getting those certain amount of bullets in, but I swear it feels like you get hit twice, and it doesn't matter if you're getting shot in the toe or not. It's over. First hit dead, and that's in a lot of
I thought
regards how
that's
I
just.
feel, and a lot of people could disagree with me, and I wouldn't blame him for that. That's how I feel when I play. I
some
just
of
feel
that
like that's
is,
almost
I hate
instant.
using the term again, but some of that it will be mitigated by netcode
Yeah.
stuff. I know. But sure, yeah, and we should play. I need to get more on PC anyway. The thing about the platforms is that Thad plays a lot on PC, and Unitool plays a lot on PS4. So that's why I started playing on Xbox One. I think it's important. I also play on Xbox 360. I think it's important that we play on every platform because I think that every platform is a little bit different, and we need to, we actually have one awesome community that's actually five communities because like the game it just plays different everywhere, right? Like PS4 is different from the Xbox One, which is different from the Xbox 360, which is different from the PC, etc. So it's important to play on every platform. The reason I haven't been playing on PC hardcore is because Thad and Fred had, and like I was like the Xbox One guy, and now I'm level 81. I'm making my way to 150. I'm finally
So,
good at the controller. My KD's above 1. Like life is good over here.
Well, if we need to get him on PC, that sounds
speaking
like
of
a good time to.
Whitey's chat. Hello, Whitey.
Sounds like a good time to get Rescue DRMB going. Get them in there for that.
Yeah, no, I'd be into that. I have yet to play any of the 5-on-5 since the game has come out.
Yeah.
I haven't played 3 modes. I haven't played Crosshair, Rescue.
You've been
I play them at work all the time. I also
farming
haven't
those
played.
hotwire points, bro.
Yeah. It's time to throw down. Get some 5-on-5 going or
That
6-on-6.
I think that is another big concern, honestly, though, Zach, and that keeps a lot of people from playing those modes is the differences in points.
Yeah. Points.
I mean, everyone
Reward.
you have these things to unlock, and people, whether they say it or not, it always
Right.
feels good to get something unlocked. And if you
Right.
have to play like 50 rescue maps versus 3 hotwires, it's most people just go to Hotwire, and that's why a lot of people go to Hotwire, and then they'll still play it like TDM because
These
they
points.
know they have easy targets. They can see where the enemy's at on the map, running around in circles. They can ambush that, and if they want to, they can get in a car and drive around and make a shit ton of points.
We're going to improve
Rescue,
scoring in the 5-on-5 modes.
It's really quick, and
Wait, what was that?
We're going to improve the scoring in the 5-on-5 modes for sure.
Nice.
Get less points in the 5-on-5 modes. We know it. It's something. I think that's another one. I think we've already done that. Fred, have you done that? The tuna has done that.
I did it for me, dude.
Okay.
I need this.
Why don't we just go ahead? Tuna time. Just give him 5 minutes of tuna time.
Tuna time.
it's tuna time.
What's up? Tuna time.
Okay.
How are you, sir?
What's going
How are
on?
you?
Well, he's got to take a piss break or something.
I don't know. I think he's just tired of you guys.
Drop the mic. He's done.
Yeah.
How you liking those new stand-up desks, man? The
I like
hydraulic
it.
desks, yeah.
It's good for my back, just like not always sitting, not always standing.
So how's everything going on the back end of Hardline? What have you been working on? What's your thing? For those unaware, this is Tuna.
Right, tuna. I just fix new game modes for the next expansions. I fix all the bugs that I want to be fixed for multiplayer.
We're supposed to be talking about rescue and crosshair scoring.
But they asking me questions. Do you want me to just ignore them?
All right, you can tell us about the rescue and
Yeah. So I play a lot of Blood Money right now, but like I used to play a lot of Rescue as well. And it sucked because you didn't get as many points, especially at the beginning when you start playing. You want to get your points going and see everyone playing Hotwire, and like, dude, this is bullshit. So I talked to the scoring guy Ben, and I was like, we need to do something about it, and we did something about it. I don't know if we can talk about what we did exactly.
Sure, you can. We already got the okay. Go ahead. EA sent me an email. They said you go right for it. You can say whatever you want. Tell us all the.
So precisely what we did is we gave more points.
Nice.
Big contract. They're coming to jack you out of the office.
Gave too
More
much.
points.
Yeah.
Good.
So I won't tell you exactly how. It's pretty satisfying, and it satisfies everyone, whether you were the one that won the match or whatever. We tried also to promote people staying the whole match, which is very important because people would quit. It's like, I'm losing 4-0, I'm quitting, getting somewhere else. But no, we want people to stay the whole match, so we try to help that out.
Will there be any
1,000 points per kill.
I mean, you're encouraging people to stay. Is there a penalty for somebody leaving out?
We don't have anything technically set up for that, so we're promoting it with scoring instead. That's what we're doing.
Gotcha.
So hopefully that helps a lot. And
Yeah, we'll see.
Points comparable to Hotwire and other modes, or are they just up from where they were, or it's all
Yeah,
about?
we didn't change anything Hotwire. We're happy with the way Hotwire is, so we try to like equalize from the bottom and not from the top.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Well, sounds good. Any other secrets, tidbits you
Yeah,
can tell?
little nuggets.
DLC.
What
I
kind of
can't remember what
secrets?
Zach said. How many DLC guns was it?
All right, I'm out.
Well,
I can't
he
give
was
you.
getting.
Oh, shit.
You're the
He's like, I'm out. It's like I'm gonna lose my job here.
Right.
Yeah.
That was tuna time. Man, he has a big
Yeah.
head. Fix these. That was tuna time. Hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, he gave you the mic right back as soon as I asked him how many guns were in the DLC.
Yeah.
He said, "Meh." Here you go, Zach.
Just getting ready to give us map names before he left.
Well, we have went for an hour, over that a little bit. Quite a few people in chat. Anything else that you want to talk about, Zach, toward Hardline, toward the CTE, DLC?
Explain
Any other
why we don't
nuggets
get
you got for us?
Mean
Like,
tweets. We didn't get the mean tweets.
I don't have.
Are there a few you want to read? There's got to be some that you just
I
like.
honestly couldn't. Okay, let's just go to my notifications. I have 86 new ones right now. Let's see. I love Zaculon. Dude, it's hilarious. Thanks, Braddock. A bunch of DRMB guys.
Spam in the chat, please. We've already addressed you. Thank you. Love you. Long time.
You're talking about Iconic Chronic.
He's still going. Yeah, no,
Dude,
yeah.
what you're seeing in the chat is my Twitter feed every day.
Hey,
He-
I didn't
this
sign up
dude
for that.
has
I don't get
so
to pay
many
tickets.
great ideas. He's got a screenshot.
There's nothing wrong with that, but just ask. It's okay. Once. Please.
I'm scrolling
Please.
down, man. I'm seeing a lot of like positivity on here. I also just recently learned about
That's
mute
good.
on Twitter. I muted some dudes. They were being mean. This one guy was like, he was complaining about like lag or whatever. He's like, oh, I get so much lag. Oh, F you. Oh, and I had the nerve to ask him. I said, hey man, I want to help you out. Like, what's up with what is your internet connection looking like?
56K.
No. He's like, I have to. How dare you accuse me of having? Just like, dude, I'm just asking. Like, this could be a real issue. Let's see what we got here. There's no hate, dude. Hold on, I gotta get back to the hate. The hate was like maybe a long time ago. It's been all love lately. Here's Fred Tuna calling me NES Master Race.
NES.
I mean, mostly it's like,
NES.
Any chance in the level cap being raised, or is that just going to be used toward the legendary status?
no, that'll be for legendary for sure.
Okay,
That's
there
it.
you go.
Nice.
There was some other mean guy. Iconic Chronic, dude. This guy tweets me like so much. I can't even keep up.
His secret admirer.
It's a lot of him and Danny.
I was trying to get you an intern job there, so
Yeah,
just
there you go. You get your intern.
Yeah,
No.
they said he's got some more important things for you than cleaning out a fridge. But just getting your foot in the door. I was trying to help you. Pick out a mop or something.
I would love to do mean tweets, but they're just not. I'm not
It's all
getting
Come on.
good. It's all good stuff.
All you gotta do is go to Reddit, bro.
Go to the Reddit. Let's see, really quick. Let's just see what's on the Reddit.
They love
Right
you
now,
there.
let's see the worst stuff on the Reddit.
loves
It's
everyone.
Good, lagging. Apparently,
Reddit's full of great people who love this
I
stuff.
wake up and go straight to Reddit because it's just so much positivity there.
Dude, I do like to look on the Reddit. The thing that is weird about the Reddit is that
Somebody's asking about that. How often you guys on Reddit reading that?
I look at it constantly. I just don't talk. If you want to talk to me, you got to get on the Twitter.
It's like
Reddit.
Mos Eisley Cantina. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and
Right.
villainy.
This was a good one. I thought that like maybe when you posted this. Oh yeah, okay, this is good. So this is one of my favorite ones because this is bad about you guys. Knows it for you posts. Hey, join us. We're gonna be on Thursday. Some guy says this will be good. Giving away a copy of Hardline. And this guy drops in with, is it going to be another circle jerk like last one, or are you actually going to hold them accountable for their shitty game?
All right, we're done with the circle jerk. Tell us, Zach. What's the deal with the game? No, go ahead.
Here's another mean one. This is from some mean guy on Reddit. Really not interested in watching a fan fest fluff video. Where is a real patch? Is this game abandoned? Congratulate them on fooling me. I really thought they would be better than how Dice was with BF4. They acted the part, ... But none of the obvious changes were needed after the hugely popular second beta. Nerfing the couch and barely touching the K10 is hardly a patch. Congrats, Visceral, I am done. That one's sad. He's done. I mean, does that mean he killed himself? That's terrible. Or he's just done
He's done playing your game. And he's
He'll be
probably
back.
still on it right now.
Yeah, he'll be back. Just like everyone else.
Well, and to be fair, and not to just criticize everybody,
Yeah.
with the Frostbite engine, there have been repeated particular issues, and it is hard for someone who's not an engineer or not a game developer to really understand that. Like, you guys were really, really vocal about everything and I know you guys are working on DLC and all that, but keep communicating with us, telling us things that you guys are working on, letting us know. It does seem like you guys kind of went to more of a quiet phase, and
Yeah, I think that we just got caught with our heads down trying to work, and I think that's the one hard thing here is that, like, it does take time to be sort of on the Reddit or on the Twitter. Again, if someone tweets at me, it's the only way you're not going to get a reply is if you're spamming me, and I don't even mind that. I'm just not going to reply to everyone, or if I just don't see it, because some days I get like hundreds of notifications and I don't have time to look, and at the end of the day I'll look and I'll try to answer some, but I'll just miss a few. I always try to answer. We're really not trying to. Oh wait, here's a friendly open letter to this. It's super long. I'm not going to read this. It's super long. I am going to read it, but I'm not going to read it on air. So I forgot what we were talking about. Talk to people.
Circle jerks.
Yes,
No.
we need to communicate. We need to
Really,
continue to
but go ahead.
communicate.
Yeah.
Look, here's the other thing is, like, we're pretty, like, open with what our usernames are. If you want to communicate, hop in my squad. I'm on every night on Xbox One. Thad's on pretty much every night on the PC. Fred's on, like, maybe not every night, but well, he's on more than me. He's over 80 hours played. Unitool is on every night on PS4. Our usernames on these platforms are the same as our Twitter handles. Like, people find me. I talk to people on Xbox One all the time. I've yet to have to block anybody, actually. It's been pretty good so far. Until all these people in the chat come in. We'll get you to block somebody.
Look, bro.
But it's a balanced game, right? And I want to be, like I said at the beginning of the call, this is the community's game now. We released it. It's not like our little private game we're working on anymore. It's everybody's game now. You guys are the ones that have invested money in our game, and we want you to get your money's worth, and we want to continue to make the game better for you. And so we will try to engage more. Maybe I'll make a Reddit account. And I'll just talk to people on Reddit. I don't know. It just seems like there's some really constructive, cool stuff on Reddit, but, like, some of it is just so mean. I don't know if I can do the mean, like the crazy mean stuff.
Fire away.
No.
If you got
Just
one
like-
there. Any
I
particular
mean, I just mean in
favorites?
general. No, I just
Right.
mean in general. What the hell did I get highlighted? What does this guy have to say? I mean, a lot of this is too. It's like, there are just too many problems. Visceral ignore. Like, he doesn't say what. Didn't our release go pretty well? Did our release go good? I thought our release went well. Like, we launched.
I thought so,
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought it went long.
It was
Yeah,
a lot more
there-
stable than previous.
I guess there's a
Build it
difference
long.
between bitching to bitch and then actual constructive criticism, where you're pointing something out and you're actually trying to help the process to make it better. And what I see on Reddit and other places is people are just bitching. I mean, no solutions, nothing. It's just, this sucks. Well, why does it suck? Give something that can be used to fix it or help the process. But there's none of that.
And that's
Yeah.
true, but there's also so many people that are constantly talking to you guys, and as you guys are trying to answer as many as you can, there are people who just go unheard, or at least they feel unheard.
Yeah,
So
that's true too.
that's where that aggressive, well, they won't pay attention to me until I just curse them out and tell them to go
Yeah.
hell, what? And that's just how some people handle things when they feel like I bought the game, I've been given all this feedback, and I've not had a single favorite or a response or whatever, and it just feels like you've been tuned out. So there's a lot of that too. For me though, I feel like a lot of the hate was just the shit that boiled over from Battlefield 4's
Yeah.
launch and the issues that had, and now that's all been forgotten. Which whatever, but it has. Now it's the CTE and doing, which
I mean,
that's
I think
good. I'm glad they're still supporting it. And they're doing the map, they're doing the guns, and it's good because a lot of people just simply want the military type battlefield. You know, some people are just turned off to the cops and robbers thing.
which is totally fine. Like, I get it. Like, I totally get that. Like, hey, like some people, that's the kind of game they want to play, and cool. That's Battlefield 4 is still there. It's not going anywhere. They're doing a great job supporting that game. I think that what they're doing with the CTE and the way that they interact with the community is amazing. We're going to model how we do our CT after that. We want to, be even more interactive with the community on ours. As far as the people that
hates just slid over now, like, oh, Battlefield 4 is good now. I'm just gonna hate on this one. Go back to the one that's really good that you like.
Yeah, and there is the sort of like, I guess the one thing that you sort of touched on is the people that feel like they're crying out into a void, like, hey, I have this problem and no one's listening to me, and if somebody would just sort of reply to them and let them know that, like, hey, we're working on that issue, or hey, like, try this, or hey, maybe this is the problem or that's the problem, depending on what it is, would be super helpful.
Chronic.
I do Twitter,
bro. Jill, please go ahead. Sorry. I mean, and he's been doing that nonstop. Trying to be friendly, bro. Go ahead, Zach. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, he's amazing.
Get him, Moobot.
I mean, he tweet. I guess my thing is like I can only do so many of the different social media channels, and the one that I've chosen to sort of be responsive on is Twitter. And I would encourage anybody that wants to engage in any sort of dialogue about the game to hit me up on Twitter. I do read the Reddit things, and I take a lot of action items out of those. I read these Reddit posts, and I see the issues that people post, and we try to fix those issues. We try to tune those things that people are complaining about. That being said, the things that people complain about on Reddit, and let's be honest here, we have millions of people playing the game, and this Reddit has 14,000 subscribers. So it's not like Reddit is a definite reflection of our entire audience. We are able to go in and look at every stat in the game. I can look at every weapon broken down by map, by mode, how accurate people are with it, how much damage it's doing, what range they're hitting. We can see everything. And so I think that, like, some people may have like their certain conceptions about how this gun is tuned that they're just not true. Like, everybody's playing mechanic and everybody's running K10. Well, it's not true. It's factually not true. Like, I can look at the stats. And so that can be very frustrating, is when people have these things that in their minds they're facts and they're just not facts. It's hard to sort of know what to say to those people when it's like, oh, this is this is definitely an issue, and then we look at it and it's like, well, man, like, no one's even using the thing that you're talking about being some huge issue, like. So it's tricky. It's people might have their own sort of thought on how things are going, and it's not necessarily always true. And I don't just want to cater to the most loud people. I think that the quiet guy that sits there and plays the game, he may have some great thoughts on the game too, and he's just not getting on Reddit or spamming me on Twitter or whatever. But that doesn't make his feedback any less valuable. We go out and we seek feedback from our players. The other thing, we do like user surveys where it's not like we're asking you to come to us. We have your email. You sign up for Origin, and people sometimes will get random emails from us, and it's like, hey, the Battlefield Hardline team wants to know some things, and they take a survey and they fill it out, and we use that data as well as the focus test data and all the like telemetry from the game. We can't just make our decisions based on some Reddit thread. They're not right.
Well, that's the thing too. You've also said in the past that just because you don't respond doesn't mean you're not listening.
I promise you, there's nothing that's been posted on Reddit that I haven't read. I read every single post. It's the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning. I look at my Twitter and then I load up Reddit. I just don't post on Reddit.
That is a shitty way.
Sometimes it's a sad way to start my day.
You want to talk about waking up?
Oh, I slept really good. I'm going back to bed.
But then some days it's not. I mean, you guys say like, oh, Reddit is terrible, and there are like a ton of like
It's not terrible. There's obviously a ton of people who use it. It's just there is so much behind it sometimes.
It's well known in the marketing world. People are going to be more vocal when they're upset. When you're happy, you don't tell you don't tend to tell everyone that you're happy, but if you're upset, you're going to go out there and tell like 10 people, yeah, I'm pissed off about this. So, like you said, 14,000 people on Reddit, it's not a giant snapshot of what's going on.
It's a very small percentage, but it seems like it's giant because that is a lot of people. If you put 14,000 people all in one place, you're like, wow, this is a ton of people. It's just when you look at like there's millions of people that play this game, that number's growing every day. Like we're still selling the game. It's about, we would like to get our active users all at one time up, but we're seeing new active users all the time, and we need to get sort of fresh feedback from those guys too, right? Because they're coming at it with a fresh perspective. They didn't go through the initial release and then the patch and all that. There will be PC players that we bring in post all the netcode stuff. They will come in late to the game and they'll start playing the game, and they'll have no idea what people are talking about when they go back and look at these sort of netcode conversations, because that'll already have been changed by the time those guys get in. Ronald just made a face like he had something to drop.
Yeah, he's about to.
Well,
did I interrupt the deep thought?
No, I was just gonna ask: is there gonna be another patch that comes out before DLC, or is that gonna come out together? I know you can't really give us a date on DLC, but
it depends. Like, DLC's going really well right now. That's the other thing, is like we didn't know how quickly we'd be able to make this stuff. We've never made this stuff before. Everything is, knock on wood, everything's going great right now. So right now, I think that it's going to be soon enough that we don't necessarily have to do an in-between patch, at least a client patch. There's still stuff that we may do on the server side, but we don't have to kick a new data to you guys when we do a server patch. It just goes to the server. Now, I'm not saying no. I'm just saying, like, right now, it seems like we're probably okay. What would I do? I would do like tuning, right? That would probably be the big thing that we do in between now and then. It's like maybe a tuning drop. Yeah. It's not off the table.
Net code.
That's going CTE first. That's got to go CTE first.
So there's no changes for that before the CTE then. Like, and I know that encompasses a great deal of things.
Yeah. There's no changes until the CTE. It's got to go on the CTE first.
But you did say, and there's been a lot of people that's joined after you've said that. So that is going to be like, it's going to be available for, you said you're going to try to make the CTE available for everybody. You can't promise that, but I don't know for sure, wanting to do that.
I think that, like, if there's not the base of players to keep it going on with premium, then we should just open it up to everybody. I need to talk to people here about how feasible that is. But Thad and I have already discussed that. Our goal is to get that thing full and to bring up the daily players on PC.
You did say that CTE could very likely be this month, right?
It better be this month.
Needs to be this month, is what you're saying.
I'm counting on it. Like, we're talking about a matter of weeks, yeah.
Nice.
If not days. Like, I'm counting on this thing coming soon. We're really close. There's just,
is that just a test for everything, or is there anything in particular that you like? I know I hate to even say that word.
Well, that's the first thing going in there. But we will also do some, and I think this is where it gets tricky with CTE and Premium, is that we want to give the CTE guys an early look at some of the maps, because we'd like to get feedback before we button everything up and put it in a box. That's valuable to us. I think that was one of the biggest things making the game. Look, I'm not saying the game's perfect. It has its faults, but it is a way better game because we had a program where we were able to bring in key influencers and play our maps early and give us feedback on our maps early. Again, I'm not saying we made a perfect game, but we made a way better game than we would have if we hadn't have done that whole Game Changers program. So for me, I want to continue to do that kind of stuff, and I also want to start using the CTE in a very similar way. It's going to be critical for us just from like a feedback standpoint, just getting people in there. And so getting premium content into the CTE early is something we definitely want to do. And that's where it gets tricky with allowing non-premium members to get into CTE. And I'm not saying we're not going to. I'm saying I've got to go figure that out. And I've got to figure that out with marketing and PR and finance and all those, departments within EA that work, again, I'm just some dude that sits here and makes games, right?
Let's go snap a whip. Yeah. Make it happen.
So you said you had a Hardline key to give away, huh?
Yeah, I already sent it to.
You sent it.
Lana.
Who won
Lana
that?
B has the Hardline.
No,
Code.
no, he said that.
yeah.
Iconic
Okay.
Chronic obviously won it. Then
Yeah. So how are we gonna give this away?
I don't know. How do you want to give it away?
See.
I want somebody that
It is
It
a
obviously
PC
doesn't
code,
have
correct?
it.
It is a
Someone-
PC code, correct?
it's a PC code. I would like to give it to somebody that has not. That obviously somebody that doesn't own it, but is open to playing it, like is going to give it a real chance. How about that, right? I don't want to give it to somebody that's like, fuck Hardline. I only like military games. Let's give it to somebody that's going to like have an open mind and actually give it a shot. And this person is gonna send me feedback on what they think about this game.
All
It's
right.
part of the deal.
So,
It's part of the deal if you take the code.
So who's that person in here?
and it
Speak
is
up
PC.
now.
And it is PC. Hold on, we might have a way to do this. Now, Chronic, you're
they
saying
giving away?
that you need it,
What are they
but
giving away?
Hey,
you're
can I ask you
giving
guys
the
Can I
feedback.
ask you guys a
on it.
question?
Come
like
on,
a
bro.
completely random question.
Yeah.
Okay, so before Hardline, I never used the what's this thing, Twitch. And so see right now, if you look in the Twitch chat, there's this guy and he says, Patufa, I don't have Hardline, and there's a face. What is that? What is that
That's a-
face that people always put in chat? That face is like constantly in every Twitch channel I go to.
I
people
don't
have-
even know what that is.
Troll la 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 la. That's
Oh.
like the dirt
No, it's like
face.
some dude.
They got a name for it. Yeah, but that's
Not
kind of like the troll face.
though.
Kappa,
Is it?
like Kappa
Okay.
face.
I don't have my glasses on. It kind of looks like what's his face?
That
Belushi from
Kappa
Animal
face.
House.
It means whatever they just said prior to that is just bullshit, pretty much. If you want to know the meaning of that.
Face, Patufa troll, face.
It's like I hate Hardline Kappa.
Okay, but who is that guy, and where did that guy, like that original picture, like why is that the like go-to face?
Vader,
Another-
whose face is that?
Twitch.
I don't know. I don't keep up
I'm
with.
fascinated by this face.
Yeah, it's a sarcasm face. Whose name is it? What's the guy's name? We want to figure out the
And some
emojis.
message to leave. They must be trying to link me to like an
Emotes.
explanation or something.
Oh, there's like
Someone just
3
tweet
different
me.
versions of it.
All right.
Oh, there's a mustache version.
Oh.
Mustache version is amazing.
Yeah.
Tweet if you're in the stream. Tweet don't revive me, bro. Don't. I was gonna say DRMB, but that won't work. Tweet at don't revive me, bro. Telling them why you deserve Hardline, and we'll pick a winner from that.
I
And
thought
you
the
gotta-
mama jokes would be better.
You can do hashtag Sweet Zach, and we'll know you was in the stream.
And here's the deal: the person that gets this game is gonna have. I'm gonna give them my email address, and they're gonna have to send me like basically a book report on what they think about the game. It doesn't have to be super long.
1,000
paragraph.
words minimum.
No. However, but they want to do. I just want to know, what do you like about it? What should we do more of? And what would your top 3 things to fix be, being someone that just kind of came to the game now?